Hey guys, it's Tahira, and today I'm doing a very exciting video because I just got a Kindle like a few days ago, and I also got Kindle Unlimited. I'm on the 3-month free trial right now, and there's like a lot of great books out there. So basically what I'm doing today is I'm going through a little bit of like a Kindle Unlimited TBR, I guess, of books on there that I'm really like interested in, that I want to read. A lot of these books are basically like fantasy and fantasy romance, with some like regular romance thrown in there, because I think that's what like Kindle Unlimited is really good for, is like small like indie authors publishing their own work, not like big name traditionally published authors. So I'm excited to also get to know a lot of new authors and books through this. But I'm just gonna go ahead and start with all the books that I'm excited to read on Kindle Unlimited. So the first one is a very highly hyped book that was really popular this past year in 2023, and that is of course Divine Rivals by, I think, Rebecca Ross. This book became massively popular last year. It's about these two people that are on the, I want to say, opposite sides of war, and they're sending letters to each other, and I've heard the romance is like really great, so I'm excited to read this one. And this is like probably one of the more popular books that is on there, and of course I want to pick it up. I've been wanting to read it for quite a while now, and I'm so happy that it's like on this like platform. Then I have a book that is the sequel to The Housemaid. The Housemaid's Secret by Frida McFadden, I think is the author. I recently read this book a couple of weeks ago while I was on vacation, and I really enjoyed it. It was super fast paced, and honestly like I had a lot of fun reading it, so I'm excited to see what the sequel has to offer. Then is another series that I have been seeing a lot about, and I've been wanting to read as well for quite a while, and that is The Serpent and the Wings of Night duology by Carissa Broadbent. This one has also been super popular the past couple of years, and I've heard a lot about it, so I'm really happy that it's on this platform. And I think the sequel is also on this platform as well, so I will be hopefully reading that one soon. I think this one is also like a fantasy. I don't really know too much about it. Then I have a thriller, which is Pretty Girls by Karen Slaughter. This one is about a girl and her sister disappears with no trace of her, and then years later, another girl disappears, and then her sister thinks that her sister's death and this other girl's death are linked somehow. I've heard a lot about this as a thriller. I've heard of Karen Slaughter, of course. I don't think I've read any of her books, but I'm excited to give this one a go. Then I have the Twisted series by Anna Huang. I have, of course, heard so many great things about this one. I think this is like several books, so I don't know when I would be getting to this one, but this one is a romance. According to Goodreads, it seems like this one's about some guy who has to like take care of his best friend's little sister, and of course some romance happens from that. Another author that I've heard a lot about that I have seen on Kindle Unlimited is Elsie Silver and her books. I don't know like what exactly the name of the series is, or even what the first book is. Some of the books I've heard are like Powerless and Heartless, and I don't know other ones, but this one is like a Western romance, I think, which I haven't really read before, but I've heard a lot of really great things about this author and her books, so I will be seeing what the hype is about. Then I have two books by the same author, which is Love Redesigned and The Fine Print, which are both by Lauren Asher, I believe. I think they're both billionaire romances as well, which I've never read before. Listen, I've never read any of these types of romances that I'm talking about. I have barely like touched romance at all, like only the big popular ones, so I don't know what indie romance is gonna be like. I've heard good things about both of these. They're both like pretty popular. I think Love Redesigned came out semi-recently maybe, and I've heard a lot about it, so I'll see how it goes. Then I have some fantasy romance books that I'm really excited for. The first one is The Ever King, which is the first book to the Eversea series. I think this whole series might be on Kindle Unlimited. I'm not sure. I know that the first book is, at least. I think this one is about like something to do with pirates on the water. Usually that's something I'm not too interested in and I don't like too much, but I will be giving this one a go and seeing how much I like it. The next romance or fantasy romance book is A Court This Cruel and Lovely by Stasia Stark. This one is about a girl who is found by this mercenary who leaves her almost dead, and then years later I think she finds this man again, and he basically, they have this deal going where she helps him get into some city, and then they help her kind of hone her dark magic that she's been hiding for a while. I don't know exactly, but I have heard a lot about it. I've seen it several times on there. I found this like trend on Kindle Unlimited that a lot of books on there have this like the same titles almost. Like there's a lot of court. There's a court of this and this court and this, blah blah blah. There's a lot of court going on in Kindle Unlimited. So that is another book that I have my eye on. Another one is Daughter of No Worlds by Carissa Broadbent, which was the author of Serpent and the Wings of Night. Also, I really like the red that is going on in this cover. This one is about a girl named Tisana who is a former slave, and one day she like escapes, but barely, and then she goes to this like organization, something to do with magic, and she joins their ranks in order to like do an apprenticeship to learn magic to save her best friend, something like that. It sounds fun. All of these like romantasy or fantasy romance books, that's a genre that I haven't really delved into, so I will hopefully be seeing what this book is about. I think that the premise sounds interesting, so I hope that like the execution matches the promise of the premise. Then I have Book of Azrael by Amber V. Nicole. This book has something to do with gods. I'm not really sure, but it sounds interesting, so I'm excited to pick it up. Then I have a series that is very, very popular. I don't know if I actually want to read this, but I saw it was on there, so I might as well try picking up the first book, but that is the Zodiac Academy series. This one is so massively popular. I've heard so many good things about it, both good and bad. So I don't know. I have a feeling I'm not gonna really like it as much as the people that like really like it, so I feel like I might not like it, but we'll see. I don't know, maybe it'll surprise me. Again, I've heard so many like things about it, so I don't know. I'll see how it goes. Then I have Nettle and Bone by T. Kingfisher. I have definitely heard of T. Kingfisher as an author, but I've never read any of their work. But this one sounds interesting. It follows a girl named Mara who is realizing that her and her sisters will never really escape the abuse of the prince. So she goes to like this witch, I guess, to try to get help for her and her sisters, and she has to do 3 things in order for the prince to die. So I guess the story is following her and doing all these 3 tasks and her journey trying to kill the prince to save her and her sisters. Then I have another super popular romance book, and that is The Deal by Elle Kennedy. This one I think is about a girl who like tutors this hockey boy in exchange for like a date. I don't know. I've heard a lot about this. I don't know much about it, but I've heard like good things generally. Again, I'm not really a romance person, so I'll see how it goes. I don't know if I'm really into romance like this, but there's no harm in trying new books out. That's the whole reason that I got Kindle Unlimited. The last 2 books are The Poppy War. This is the first one to a fantasy trilogy by R.F. Kuang. This one is actually one I've heard about, and I've heard a lot of really great things about it and I've been wanting to read it for a while. So when I saw that the first book was on there, I was really excited because it gave me a chance to read it for like kind of free, not exactly free. It'll give me a chance to try it out because I think only the first book is on there, so it'll give me a chance to try out this series, see if I like the first book, and then if I do, I'll pick up the next 2 books. But yeah, this one I'm for sure going to be picking up sometime soon because I've been waiting a while to read this one. And then the last one is The Bodyguard by Catherine Senner. This one I've also heard a lot of really great things about. It follows this woman. I think the woman is the bodyguard actually in this situation, which I haven't really seen much. I think mostly it's like the man is the bodyguard and the girl is the one being protected, but I think it's the other way around, so I think that should be a fun dynamic. Again, I've heard a lot about it, so I'll see how it goes for me. So yeah, these are like the 17 books rapid fire of the ones that I want to read right now on Kindle Unlimited. There's again so many books on there that I have seen that have interested in me. There's like so many on there that like it's kind of hard to know which ones I want to read, but I'm glad that I have so many options on there to read for like free, I guess. Not free, it's like $11.99 a month, but I will hopefully be reading these soon. I might do like reading vlogs for some of these, maybe like a fantasy romance reading vlog, maybe like other ones, I don't know, maybe, we'll see. But please let me know down below if there's any like other romance or fantasy romance recommendations or any like Kindle Unlimited recommendations that you have. As of course I would love to know. I don't really know what books are like good on there and what are not, so I really would love some help in that area. But that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed and I'll see you next time. Bye!